Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're going through the complete Ubiquiti UniFi and Synology network build course. And today we're going to start focusing on the Synology side of things. So last time we focused more on the Ubiquiti UniFi, getting our network set up, but now we're going to start getting our server set up, and you're really going to start to see the beautiful marriage between these two technologies and why I've chose to go down this path. Now the only thing that I changed in my network configuration is I added a Synology NAS device that also has two Western Digital 8 terabyte drives that I've added inside of that machine. I'll be sure to include links in the description of what I'm using exactly, but basically it's just two drives that will be redundant, and we're going to use this Synology device to run our UniFi Video Controller. So the first thing that I need to do is go to find.synology.com, and it will search for any available Synologies, and you can see that I found my DS918 Plus. All I need to do is press connect. It will take me to the page for that Synology device, and now it's ready to start the setup wizard. So click on setup, and it will want to install the Disk Station Manager, which is the operating system that Synology uses for their devices. So I'm just going to click on install now, and it will take its time on initializing, configuring the disk, and getting everything ready. After some time, we'll come back and check this screen, and we should be able to move forward. Alright, so the Synology went through its process, and now we're ready to give it a name and create an administrator password. So I'm going to give it the name of NetSRV-01. I'll do a video later on why I chose that name. But the username, I'm just going to put in my name, put in a secret password. I'm going to uncheck this share the network location just for some additional security and privacy. I'll know where this is located. I don't need that extra help. So great, looks like we're ready to rock and roll. The one thing that I do want to configure on this is I'm just going to do the important updates. Just for like security updates, those are I want those to be automated, but any major installs I want to update the operating system on my own. And I also want to make sure that my disks are being checked. So this is that smart test on the disk to see if there's going to be any failures. And yeah, we can enable bad sector warning so that we get notifications on that. For the quick connect, this is something that's more for if you are going to be on the road a lot and need to dial into this. You can join it to your Synology account. You can figure this out on your own, but for this example, I'm just going to skip this step and manage it manually. And I definitely do not want to send any anonymous data to Synology. So that's basically it. I now have an up and running Synology device. It's going to walk me through the wizard. They have a little start button up here. They have a package center that we'll be using, and also the control panel. We have like the system health and resource monitor here. I'm just going to hide this by default, and I don't need the DSM help to be showing every single time that I load up. So first things first, let's get our Synology updated before we do anything. So I'm going to go into control panel, update and restore. We can just click on download for the latest update. And we just need to do update now, and it's going to restart the system. So we'll let it go through its update, and we'll check on this soon. Alright, so now our Synology should be updated, so let's log in. And we can see that we have just a few more packages to update. Of course, we want to sign our life away here. And let's get these updated as well. Perfect, so these packages are now updated, and we can just clear out of that notification center. We should be good to go. Let's see what else this is talking about. Alright, so we should be good. So we have everything updated. So now the first thing that we want to do is get this set up so that we have a static IP address on our local site. So I'm going to go into here, I'm going to go into control panel, and I'm going to go into network. We're going to want to choose the network interface, and since this has two of them on here, we're going to want to edit the LAN 1, and we want to use a manual configuration for this. So it pre-fills most of everything out for me, so that's nice. I'm just going to change this to a .11 because that's outside my DHCP range. So this is the network that we configured before in the other videos. So this is my USG device here. And then I also have it set for a DNS server to handle internal DNS and forward any queries out to external DNS services. So that's fine. I'm just going to press OK on this. And of course, we're going to lose network connectivity. So if I open up my terminal and try to ping 192.168.57.11, we should start to be able to get the responses from that. And you can see that the 57.57, which we originally were, is no longer there. So what's really nice is when you change your IP address, it automatically redirects you to your new address as well. So there's no need for you to type in a new IP address to get reconnected. So some other things that I want to do before I leave this screen is I want to go to the DSM settings. I want to enable HTTP2, which speeds things up a little bit, but I also want to force my connections to HTTPS. So you can see that I'm not secure right now. I'm using HTTP. Even though it's on a local network, I prefer to have everything set up over HTTPS, and I can hit apply on this. Okay, so now you can see that it's redirected me to HTTPS. All I need to do, this is a self-signed certificate, so I'm going to add an exception on here, and now I should be able to get back to my Synology, and it is running over HTTPS, which is a good standard practice. Okay, so we have our connection to our Synology set up to be secure. Now, it's kind of boring without actually configuring these drives. So the first thing that we need to do is go into Storage Manager, and then we need to create our first volume. And this is basically going to be setting up our disks to be able to store information. And so the quick mode's fine. It's going to create a volume, and it's through this Synology Hybrid RAID, which will be plenty fine for me just using the 2 disks. And you can see that my 2 drives are here. They're going to be part of my volume, and I don't have any data on this disk, so I'm just going to allow it to be deleted. And even though that you may have brand new disks, Synology allows you to check to see if these disks are lemons or have any faults on them. So it is a good idea to run a disk check on these, which will take some time. So the next step is choosing which file system to use. I'm just going to use the recommended file system on this. It seems like it has a lot of useful features that I can use in the future. And the description I'm just going to leave to default for now, since I'm only going to have 1 volume between these 2 drives. So I can just click on apply, and it will start to create the volume for me. Awesome, our volume's now created, and we're one step further of having this device ready for a network. Coming up, you'll be able to see how we're going to install the UniFi Video Controller on the Synology device. And then after that, you'll see the huge benefits of what else we can do with our Synology device compared to buying a UniFi Video Controller directly from Ubiquiti. Be sure to follow along by subscribing to us on YouTube or following us on Twitter. We're also accepting contributions through Patreon. So if you want to help us keep the lights on, our promise to you, we'll keep making great videos and keep publishing excellent content. So looking forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.